Political scientists think quantitatively as opposed to U.S. history teachers and professors who think in terms of stories. Last year, you had to write a well-written essay in AP U.S. history if you took it, using a lot of examples. This year, since it's political science or the study of government, you have to be very specific. So for example, you are now looking at the 2009 AP U.S. Government Free Response Exam, question number 3. As with all questions on the AP exam, there are labels A, B, C, and even now, more recently, D and E. You're either asked to describe, identify, or explain an answer. Most of the time it's just a word question, but usually 1 out of 4 of the questions have a diagram, a cartoon, or a picture. In this one, after you read the introduction, and that's always very important, usually 10 people, 5 professors, and 5 government teachers spent 3 years writing the question. No word is left unprovoked, and each one is thought of very carefully. After you've read it, and this one of course is talking about the Congress, the unit you are now working on, you then go to the question. Describe 2 advantages the majority party of the United States House of Representatives has in lawmaking. For each correct answer you would describe, you would get a point. Again, describe 2 advantages the majority party has in lawmaking above and beyond the numerical advantage that the majority party enjoys in floor voting. That's 2 points. Part B, describe 2 differences between the House and Senate rules that make it likely that the legislation may pass in one chamber or the other. Again, you would get 1 point for the first describe and 1 point for the second. Finally, explain how the differences identified in Part B can lead to the passage in one chamber and not the other. So for example, in Part B, if you talked about the House Rules Committee, that is something only true in the House. If you talked about in the Senate about the filibuster, that is only true in the Senate. If I wanted to then go and talk about Part C and say why the filibuster is only true in the Senate, it would be because in the Senate there is a smaller, more austere body which can deliberate and take more time because there are far fewer members. Therefore, filibuster works in the House, but not in the Senate. Likewise, in the House, you need a Rules Committee to talk about what is going to be done on the floor of the House of Representatives, because with 435 members, if you do not have clear rules for talking, debating, adding amendments, etc., nothing would be done. So because of the size, you can do that. You need a Rules Committee in the House. So again, Part A you can get 2 distinct points, Part B 2 distinct points, and Part C 2 distinct points, for a total of 6 points. If you, for example, know 3 advantages of the United States House of Representatives has in lawmaking, then you would want to put 3, because on the AP exam, as long as it says describe 2 or 1, etc., if you put 1 more, as long as you get 2 right, you can get 1 wrong and still get full credit. Same for B and same for C. The only exception would be, or has been, one question several years ago asked for the fundamental job of political parties. And if you wrote the fundamental job of political parties is getting people elected and making policy into law, you would not get any credit, even though the first part, getting people elected, is correct, since fundamental means absolutely one. That's it.